Right, this looks quite promising for a little evening cook-up. So one of the problems with these woodland car parks is mosquitoes. I can already see them swarming around the car. That is going to be a problem as the summer develops. Do have a couple of tools in the toolbox, but right, I'm going to be cooking a classic Chinese noodle dish this evening called Dan Dan Mian. I've brought a load of Chinese ingredients from my cupboard, and what better time to use them than a woodland in somewhere in Switzerland. My friends are probably wondering why I haven't cooked this already. It is somewhat of a signature dish. I'm going in with some sesame oil to a hot wok, and now, even though I'm cooking a Chinese dish tonight, I will be using Italian pasta. I would actually recommend this for novice noodle chefs because Italian pasta is a lot smoother, and Chinese noodles will tend to stick and absorb more moisture, and it can result in dry and claggy noodle dishes. So I'm going with spaghettini tonight, which was only like £2 down at the co-op, so good deal. That's about half the pack. Alright, this might be too much pasta for the water, because actually a key to pasta cooking in general is allow plenty of water. So I'm going to go easy at this stage, just see how that's sitting in there. I could have added more water, but I put a whole flask full in. I can probably only fit one portion of pasta in here, you know. I'm going to go with 2, okay, but just know that this is not enough water for this pasta. You should use way more than this. But I want 2 meals out of it, and in fact I'm going to get some more water from the car just to try and. But this is not good pasta technique right here. Okay, first up I'm going to go in with some of this sesame paste. Not recommended ingredient for a car camper, because it's just it's solid sesame paste here and separated sesame oil up here, and it's just it's going to leak somehow, but I had it in my cupboard at home, so now's a good time to use it. I'm just going to pour all this oil into the bowl, just because I don't want this in my. I'm going to pour all of it in, and then just because I don't want it leaking in the car if it's all oil. But I would use sesame oil in this case, and then a bit of the sesame paste. Then I'm going to go in with some of this. This is money on all occasions. Load of that in there. Get that mixed in. You know, a while back I bought a jet boil stove and it burnt my rice on the first time I used it. This trusty thing can boil up a big batch of spaghettini, no sticking. Right, this spaghettini should be ready. I'm not going to drain it because I can't really, and it's better to try and retain some of that liquid because this sesame paste will dry stuff out. Okay, that'll do. It really doesn't matter what meat or veg you use on this, it's all about the sauces here. Do that. That's another meal. Got more noodles here. I'm going to go in with a load of this. This is Laogama, black beans and chilli. You might have seen me use this on some fried rice somewhere in the Peak District or somewhere. I'm also going to go in with a bit of some soy sauce over the veg, a little bit on the noodles. Oh, and I did buy some parsley earlier. Definitely not traditional, but adds a bit more green veg. And then you just basically mix all that up. Just so the sauce kind of marbles around the noodles. Oh yeah, what a treat. That is a great noodle dish. That moisture of the sesame sauce and sesame oil, that is the heart of Szechuan noodle dishes. So good. The best bit right here. I've just pulled off at this cycling orientation place of Gruyere. It's off the road, and a car doesn't really look out of place here, so I'm just going to plonk myself somewhere around here, settle down. Here I am, just off the main road, next to this large compound of some sort. No worry about any overlooking windows really. Just a nice peaceful spot for the evening.
It's okay. For this night, it's okay here.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe tomorrow you go sleeping in a car park or...
Yeah.
It's okay for you?
Thank you, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, good night.
No problem.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Thank
Good
you.
night. Bye.
turns out that wasn't as great a park up as I thought it was. The police came at about 3 in the morning. It's actually a fairly busy bus station this morning. Yeah, it wasn't a great park up. It was good. I slept really well, but on the face of things, like, the police were obviously at some point going to drive past and see a car that didn't belong there and come and check it out, which is what they did. And they were really cool, obviously, and just suggested I find a car park in a town next time. So yeah, that was interesting. And now I'm just cruising on to Montreux. We're entering French Switzerland. All the signs have turned to French. Montreux is obviously a French word. Well, that hailstorm that battered me on my first day in Switzerland looks like it could have been a lot worse. Definitely missed the worst of it. Crikey. Well, Gruyere's a charming little town, definitely worth a stop. And this morning wasn't my first run-in with the police while car camping. It was the first on this trip, but the first time was my first time car camping in England. I went to the New Forest and decided to stay in my car. There was no modifications, no seats gone, it was just a car, and I was just asleep in the driver's seat. And it was very cold, so I had the engine running and the heating on, but the Skoda Citigo and a lot of modern cars, you can't have the engine running without the lights also being on. So someone obviously saw this and alerted the police, because some quite unsavoury things happen in rural car parks in England. Yeah, the police woke me up and I was just in shock, and I just said I was waiting for a mate, which is an absurd thing to be doing in the middle of the night at the edge of a woodland. But yeah, I should have said I've got my story straight now, that, you know, I'm on a running trip and I've just stopped by, and the police this morning were totally fine about it. And it wasn't a great park up. I passed loads of better ones on the way, so it was a bit of a rookie park up this morning. And I have since taken those lights out of my car, so I can have the engine running now without the lights on. Yeah. Five hours. No, 1 hour. 1 hour's enough in Gruyere. That's the good thing about being an agile solo traveller. You can just make a surgical strike on the core of a place and then just bugger off.